It looks like, honestly, winter is really nowhere to be found. We may have a few surges of cool air move into the area, but looking over the next week, 2 weeks, it looks pretty warm and wet around here. How's it look there at the coast? We'll go from the coast all the way up here into North Carolina.
Yeah, warm and wet is the rule. We're going to stay well above normal for at least the next 7 days. We've got some, and we're going to be unsettled. We're going to be kind of on the periphery of that wet, very wet pattern. As James has got the WPC QPF up there, we're going to be kind of on the periphery of that. We're not going to quite see the heaviest rain here along the coast, but we're still going to have periods of unsettled weather. I think some of us are rooting for winter just so the groundhog can be wrong. But beyond that, it really just looking at some of these, just looking at some of the long-term, some of the long-term forecasts here. And again, these weekly, the weeklies are just all over the place. But general pattern applies: ridge in the east, trough in the west, and that's going to keep things, that's going to keep things a little warm, a little unsettled. We have there's a really good looking storm track setting up, and if only we could get some cold air damming, Scotty, maybe we could get you some snow.
Yeah, it looks interesting. Next week, possible. Depends on the high pressure where it sets up next week, but we're in that storm track. But if you could get some wedging in, I guess our concern would really be ice more than snow, but definitely possible. Chris, there in the Midlands, South Carolina, you start to inch up in the rainfall category. And then, Evan, I'll let you kind of talk about what the rainfall is going to be like here in Western North Carolina.
Yeah, Scotty, just looking at the next couple of weeks, we're going to see in this active pattern with the southern branch of the jet, just feeding moisture in from the Gulf. But I'm ready for spring. I'm not going to lie. But before I shoot over to Evan, I want to get y'all's thoughts on something. We all play fantasy football, or at least a lot of people do. But what about fantasy weather? Have you guys seen the new weather app, Weather Battle, daily weather forecasting, fantasy style?
Yeah, that's been around for a few months now. I remember Steve Miller at WTT. That's his thing, and Steve is prominent in the Radar Scope community, and this is a little thing that he set up. I haven't played. I have been meaning to. It looks cool. Do any of you guys do it?
I don't, but I would love for them to have a daily wedge challenge in the Carolinas because, I don't know, somebody could make some money.
And a lot of people would lose a lot too.
I'd be losing.
Yeah, I've never played it. So, but Evan, I'll let you we're talking about the wedge. Well, it's looking really wet here in Western North Carolina.
It is, yeah. Looking out over the next 15 days, it's just going to be a very wet pattern moving into Western North Carolina. If you look at the ensemble forecast from the GEFS, we're looking at an ensemble mean over the next 15 days of somewhere around 6 to 7 inches in Asheville, which is substantial, kind of reminiscent of last year, unfortunately. Like we need more rain, right? We really don't need more rain. There have been some rumbles of snow next week. Scotty mentioned it, and there's a little bit of support on both the GFS and the Euro ensembles. But it's nothing worth freaking out about yet. Matter of fact, that support has really gone down over the last 48 hours. About 48 hours ago, GFS had an ensemble mean of about 12 inches of snow in Asheville, and now that is down to roughly 1 to 2 inches. So it's not looking good for snow lovers.
Yeah, we're right on this battle line. And if you have friends, or maybe if you're tuning in tonight from Virginia North, it seems like that's where the cold air is at. And once you get into North Carolina, it's kind of the transition zone to more warmer temperatures per se. So we'll have to watch and see how strong we can get that high pressure to our north and how much cold air we can get wedged in here to see if we have any winter weather potential. But unlike Chris, after last week, I'm about ready for spring to get here, even if that does mean the groundhog's right, which I hate to admit. But hey, bring on the warmer weather. So